Alright guys, it's Willie from YouTube, and you see the video that I uploaded from World Star Hip Hop. You see the lady in, pulling out the condoms and poking holes through the condoms, and the reason why she would be poking holes through the condoms is that in hope that she would get pregnant by the men that she's sleeping with, or maybe she's being conniving and poking those holes so that she would get another woman pregnant unknowingly. Now, this brings up a topic about men rights. Now, there's a lot of women rights for the last 50 years. Women feminism has really been fighting for their 50-50. And there are some areas where, when it comes to men, that they are not getting their 50-50 chance. I'm talking about financial abortion, paper abortion, aka statutory abortion. Women always like to cry out, my body, my choice. Well, men need to also cry out, my money, my choice, or my wallet, my choice. Because men now understand that since 1965, with all of these rules that have come in, that there's a large legal financial burden that men have to adopt if they have children in this era. And there's a lot of men now who do not want to be fathers, but they cannot force their spouse, their girlfriend, their side chick that they got pregnant. They cannot force them to have an abortion. And that is because of women's rights. Women's rights are saying that abortion, can scar the lady emotionally and physically. So it's always the woman has to decide. So, okay, if the woman has to decide, then men should also be given 50% chance to be able to opt out of being a father if they do not want to be fathers. And this does not affect the lady's health or emotion. So what the man would do is relinquish his parental rights to the child, much like a sperm donor would, and he would no longer have a financial obligation or emotional obligation to the child. So now the man can choose now if he wants to be a father and not be forced to be a father, the same way that the woman can choose to be a mother. But the reason why they don't want you guys to have that option, even though it doesn't affect the lady's health or emotion, is because the government and the women stand to lose a lot. They know that they have the spousal support. They know they have the child support. That they know that all these middleman tactics with the lawyers and the judge and the court fees and administration fees, all of these middlemen people are going to stand to lose a lot of money if men were given that option to have their rights relinquished. And I'm talking about, it should be fair if the women have, up to the first trimester to give up their rights to having a child. The men should also be given that right too, for the first 12 to 18 weeks. If they do not want to be attached to this woman for one reason or the other, the lady could be crazy, but just a one night fling. They don't want their other spouse that they got into it. They don't want them to know that men should also be given that option to relinquish their rights.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children and mine and Gary, all our suffering, somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
You see, men who have no choice or say in this child's life, but the woman has all the say and choice, and she can also terminate if she wishes. That means the man is stuck to this woman for the next 18 to 25 years. Financially obligated, emotionally obligated, and even if things go well, there's, divorce is 50 to 60%. When that happens, the divorce occurs, the man finds out that he has to fight for visitation right for 50% of what he produced in that child, and he also has to fight for to go and see the child, visitation right, and spend money for that. And why is it all these problems just for the men? when he provided 50% of his sperm with the egg, he should have 50% automatically. He should have 50% automatically control of the children. He should not be fighting for spousal support. He should not be fighting to have custody or visitation rights. He should automatically get 50% if they want to be 50-50, because 50 of the insemination was through the sperm and the other 50% was the egg. So, but no, the courts want to make money off of this and make men want to fight to get even 50% visitation, or even to get custody they have to fight. It shouldn't automatically always go to the women. And if it goes to the women, then they should automatically get 50%. But they don't want to do that. They want to make sure that they make money off of each misfortune that comes from the guy. Because, it is impossible to cut the baby in half and give 50% of the baby to the mother who wants to be the mother and 50% not to be given to the father who does not want to be a father. So the best option is, if they want to be fair, 50-50, is to give both the men and the women the same power to become mother and a father. But right now they only want to give the mother 100% of that power. Now, if there was something like this enacted, how many of these women would think twice about who they shack up with and who they marry and who they fall in love with? A lot of them would think twice about this. That, suppose they are a gold digger and the guy only wanted her for recreational use, did not want her as an actual spouse, a wife, because the lady is crazy and has other problems. If the guy was able to have the option to relinquish all of his rights, then a lot of these gold digging women will not be going after these men. Because that's what they do. They try and poke holes into these condoms, so then hopefully that they'll get pregnant by, celebrities, stars, and then they don't want nothing to do with the guy. They just want the meal ticket. And you can see this right now, because if you go and look at the stats right now for women in the maternity ward having birth, 70 to 80% of them are unwed mothers. So 70 to 80% of the men already have decided that they do not want to even put a ring on it within the last 9 months. Before the 1960s, they had shotgun wedding, and then the father would force that man to marry the lady that she got pregnant. But nowadays, no, they don't have shotgun wedding. So 70-80% of these women go to the maternity ward in America knowing that the man is not going to play a father role. They just want the meal ticket. But you see the difference here? Men are being penalized for having sex with another person, and women are being rewarded for having sex with another person. You see, men only have two options. They have the condom or sterilization. Now, condom shown to have over 90% effectiveness. Until the woman decides to poke holes into it, then that will decrease the effectiveness of keeping the sperm back. But you see, with women, they have over a dozen different types of contraceptions. And sterilization for men, the only other option for sterilization, which is a procedure that's decided that he does no longer want to have men. But maybe some of these men, when they find the right one, they do want to have child with that lady. So they don't want to go through the sterilization process, which it could be reversible, maybe it's not, but they don't want to risk that chance. But women have over 12 different contraceptives, but nobody puts the onus on them to do that. Sometimes they'll say, oops, I forgot to take the pill today. Or, you tell them to take the morning after pill and they say, oops, I forgot to go to the store to get the morning after pill. But it's always up to guys to wear the condom. And then when the girl gets pregnant, then it's all of the guy's responsibility. But with this enacted, this financial abortion enacted, then women will think twice. And here's another story where this would be applied to. Suppose the man finds out that the child is not his. He should be given the option of financial abortion because he did not father that child when he looks it through the DNA. So he should be given the option of no longer being charged to give child support, especially if the kid is not his. But a lot of these common law states, what they like to do is they know the real father is not giving anything to support this child, so they try and pin it on another guy unknowingly, and try and get him to pay for it. Or sometimes it's even before the baby is born. The guy, he's so in love with the lady, he doesn't question about doing any DNA, and he finds out 5 years later when they actually do a DNA test that the kid was never his, or sometimes in some cases for all the 18 years that it was never his. He should be given the option of financial abortion and the option also to sue the mother for all that back child support and go after the real father. But sometimes they don't want to do that. They want to go and get banged up by Pookie Ray Ray and then find their safety net from a beta male chimpanzee and try and put it on him. Now, for all the brothers listening right now, did you know that you can do the DNA test before the child is born? So if you have any doubts, I would say most brothers, all brothers, should at least do the DNA test. A few $100. Do the DNA test and get that all out of the way before the baby is born. Because that's what you need to tell these ladies. And some of them will, when you tell them that you want to do the DNA test, some of them will even abort the baby before that even happens. Because they know they were screwing around and they thought maybe you wouldn't do no DNA test. But brothers need to do a DNA test to stop all that nonsense right from the beginning. Anyway, guys, I know you guys have some comments. You can leave your comments down below. This is William from YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and bye-bye.